Oh, it's really nice to see you all. And it is always interesting with yoga when I'm planning what class I'm going to teach. There's so many different factors to take into account. So there's the time of the day. So this is an evening class. But there's also so much about the time of the year and the energy of it. And so it's spring. There's definitely a lift in the air. There's a change. We can all feel it. For the first time, maybe you kind of feel like getting out into your garden a little bit, or that Virgo full moon had that organizing kind of get things in order kind of vibe about it as well. But also sometimes even with all of that, we can still feel quite tired. And so tonight's class, it's somewhat linked around, I was talking the other night about the menopause and the effect of the menopause on our hormones and our energy. And in Pilates, I was talking about it in terms of the pelvic floor. But in yoga, one of the huge benefits of yoga is how it has a very balancing effect on the endocrine system, on our hormones. And balancing in the sense that we shift more into the parasympathetic nervous system. So we're less in the fight or flight and more in the rest and digest. And when we're more in the rest and digest, then there's more of an opportunity for the endocrine system to come into harmony and to balance. In the fight or flight mode, where we have more stress or our brain is racing, the balancing of the hormones is less of a priority. And so yoga is wonderful for that reason, but also just for slowing down the mind. Sometimes as our hormones, even across the month or across our life cycle and the changes that occur, it can cause us to be more fatigued or more anxious or less confident, or that our thoughts are perhaps more negative and or more heavy, and what we call it is tamasic. And so we're going to start tonight with breath of fire, and I'll do a little tutorial on how we do it. In yoga, we talk about there's three kinds of ways in nature. So there's sattvic, which is very balanced. And so foods can be sattvic, where they're very balanced and nourishing. They're not too heavy, they're not too gassy. And then you have tamasic, which is a more of a heavy quality. And you see that in nature also. And then you have rajasic, which is more, I think of rajasic as like wind, kind of aggravating, kind of speedy. And so even amongst ourselves, different people have more of a tendency towards rajasic or tamasic or sattvic. And we just work on coming into balance. And that's the thing I love so much about yoga, is it's about that balance. So sometimes you're tamasic, you're heavy, lethargic, your energy is low, your digestion is slow. And so yoga is like fantastic for lifting that energy, enlivening it, and giving you an uplifted feeling. But sometimes you're anxious, your mind is racing, you can't slow down, you're agitated. And yoga brings you into that sattvic balance and brings you out of that. And so breath of fire is called a master breath, and it has the wonderful effect, if you're feeling rajasic, that that windy, I think of wind as an aggravating racing, it slows you down and brings you back into balance. And if you're feeling that tamasic, the heavy, the lethargic, the we say more depressed or low, it lifts your energy. So we'll start with some breath of fire, and then we're going to do some slow movements, and then we're going to hold some poses with long, deep breath, and finish with a lovely breathing practice and lovely relaxation. And at the very end of the relaxation, I'm just going to turn the class off, so that if you're asleep or in a deep relaxation, you can stay like that, because it's that time of the evening. And so let's start with just closing our eyes and drop in. So this is your time. And this is your time to create that balance. And so wherever you are on the spectrum between Rajasic, Sattvic, and Tamasic, just notice how you feel and have that sense that you're just going to drop in and be with you. We meet ourselves when we get on the mat. And our aim is to meet ourselves with a neutral, observing witness mind. So no judgment, infinite kindness and patience. When we cultivate these qualities with ourselves, then they naturally extend to others. So kind internal gaze, soft, compassionate, loving internal gaze. Feel your shoulders relax a little bit, maybe. Really nice. So open your eyes. Breath of fire. If you're on your menstrual cycle, then you do a long, deep breath. And it doesn't mean you're missing out or anything like that. It's just a different breathing pattern for when you're on a menstrual cycle. But for breath of fire, put your hand on your belly. And we start with going through the mouth. So it's like you're panting. So as you exhale, you draw the belly in. And the power of breath of fire is in that exhale. So the inhale is equal, but it's not the powerful part of the breath. The breath is, the inhale is a little bit more passive, and the power is in that exhale. So, and you go at your pace always. So certainly if you're new to breath of fire, then you go nice and slow. So now let's close the mouth and we'll go through our nose. So pushing the breath out with your nose, through your nose and drawing the navel in. It's very common to do the reverse, the opposite. And so if that happens to you, just stop and start again. So that's breath of fire, exhaling through the nose, drawing the navel in as we exhale. And you remember, we have a lifetime to master it. And so never get frustrated if you're finding it a little bit tricky. You just stop, take a couple of deep breaths, and then jump back in. So we're going to do 3 minutes of breath of fire. Just get my timer. Really nice. And so you can leave your hands down, close your eyes, your eye gaze towards the center of your forehead, and then breath of fire. So navel draws in as you exhale. And don't feel like it's a very forceful drawing in. So it's not like a very strong, it's a gentle pulsing, the navel drawing in and out, in and out. Eye gaze towards the center of the forehead and stay very focused. Don't worry about the pace I'm going at or anybody else is going at. Find the pace that works for you. And sometimes we don't inhale enough. And so we find we're a little bit short of breath. That's the case. Just stop, take a deep breath, and then jump back in. Nearly there. Stay with it. Take a deep inhale. Pause, hold the breath. As you hold the breath, lift up to the pelvic floor. So all the muscles from the pubic bone at the front to the tailbone at the back lift. Relax your shoulders. Gaze towards the center of your forehead with your eyes closed, holding your breath. And then exhale, release. Take a deep breath here. Long exhale. And just notice the quality of your mind. Notice the effect. Really nice. So let's keep our attention within our own self. So within our bodies, let's try to train the mind not to be jumping around. And don't worry, it'll jump a lot still, but we're going to keep bringing it back to the breath, to the sensations, to the movement. Be nice. So let's come off your cushion if you're sitting on a cushion, hands on your knees, inhale forward and exhale back. Let me just get this. And if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes and make the circle as big as you can. Think of the navel making this big circle. And switch directions. I always like to visualize with this movement to imagine your spine is a spoon, a wooden spoon, and your pelvis is a bowl. So you're stirring the spoon in the bowl. And so making that movement as big as is comfortable for you. Really nice. Take a deep inhale. And a long exhale. Hands to your shins now, some spinal flexors. Inhale, arch, exhale back. And round. Inhale, arch, exhale, round. So here, getting into the lower back, lumbar spine. And especially if you spend much or any of your day sitting, the hips and the lumbar spine can become quite stiff. And so it's great to introduce a bit of movement like this. It's great to lubricate the joints, lift any stagnation or stiffness, really cultivating a nice feeling of flexibility and balance in our bodies. And all the time, you do everything within the range of movement that's comfortable for you. So if it feels on sharp pain or anything, reduce the amount of movement, slow it down. At any stage, take a break. It's the beauty of practicing at home. You don't have that feeling of competitiveness with anyone else in the class. So you really can practice in a way that suits you 100%. And now hands to your knees. So now we're more into thoracic spine, so upper back. So chest forwards, chest back. Inhale forward, exhale back. That soft and kind internal gaze. So as you're feeling the movement, just feel the movement, no judgment. Follow your breath. And now come to the center, take a deep inhale. Pause, hold, squeeze, lift pelvic floor. Relax your shoulders, chin in, eye gaze, center of your forehead, hold. And exhale, release. Hands to your shoulders. You're going to inhale left, exhale right. And go at a pace that suits you. For these ones, if you wish to sit on your cushion, you can, no problem, if it's more comfortable. Take a big inhale to the center. Pause, hold, lift pelvic floor, relax your shoulders, chin in, eye gaze, center of the forehead, and be very still. Exhale, release down. Hands to your knees, inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, let them drop. So all the nerve endings, all the communication from all of your organs and all of your body to your brain goes through your neck, right? So this is no news to you. You already know this. But somehow being reminded of how much happens in your neck and why then it's very common to have tension and discomfort in your neck because so much communication goes through the spinal column and the neck. So it's great to move here. It's also an area we tend to tense, and also with folding forward, looking at screen, it can become quite tight. Inhale, shoulders up, hold, lift, squeeze. So lift pelvic floor, hold your breath. Exhale, release down. And now drop your chin to your chest. And slow circles. So key is slow and absolutely only as much as is comfortable. So if you have any kind of neck injury, then just turn your head side to side. And with neck rolls, the part you need to be very careful of is the back part. So if you think of your nose, you could be drawing a circle on the wall in front of you. If your neck has no problem, you can incorporate the ceiling into that circle with your nose, but really be mindful of that backwards element of the roll and then go in the other direction. Come to the center, take a deep inhale. And a long exhale. Drop in. Very nice. Let's come around to all fours. Take an inhale and arch. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes and let's push back into down dog. So push into down dog. Bend your right knee. And press into your left heel and your right hand. And then bend your left knee. Press into your left hand and your right heel. Really nice. Bend both knees. Tilt back, so push with your hands. Firm your arms. And then carefully straighten your legs. Sitting bones towards the ceiling. Relax the back of your neck. Really nice. And then from here, look forward and carefully walk your feet to the top of the mat. Hands to your shins. Inhale, lengthen, lift your heart. And as you exhale, fold in. Little bend in the knees can be a little bit more friendly for the lower back. One more inhale, lengthen. Exhaling, fold. Hands to your waist. Inhale, come all the way up. Really nice. Hands to your heart. Let's do a little flow movement. Inhale, reach up and interlace your fingers. Exhaling, lean to one side. Inhale, back up to center. And as you exhale, lean to the other side and have that feeling of no rush whatsoever. Inhale to center. And then exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, right foot steps back and right knee comes down. Inhale, reach up, hook your thumbs. And as you exhale, sink in. Make sure that the knee is over the ankle and not forward of it. Let's do 2 more here. Inhale, reach up and back. So upper arm bones draw back, fingertips drawing towards the ceiling, tailbone draws under. And then as you exhale, sink in. And 1 more. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, sink in. Hands down either side of the front foot and step back into plank. So plank, you can have your knees down or knees lifted. Inhale here. And then exhale, come all the way to the floor. Toes point back, legs firm, tops of the feet pressing in, elbows in. Inhale up into cobra. Exhale, coming down. Let's do another one. Inhale up into cobra. Exhale, coming down. Inhale up into cobra. And exhale to all fours and then to down dog. Take a full inhale here. And then as you exhale, drop your left knee to the floor and step your right foot forward between your hands. Inhale, reach up, hook your opposite thumb in front. And exhale, sink in. And remember that knee over the ankle and not forward of it. 2 more. Inhale, reach up, fingers towards the ceiling, upper arm bones back. Maybe look up, see how your balance is. Exhale, sink in. No rush. Inhale, last one. Exhale, sink in. Inhaling, reach. And exhaling, hands either side of the front foot. And now the left foot joins the right at the top of your mat. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's go again. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, step your right foot back, but keep the right knee lifted this time. You come up into a high lunge, so you're on the toes of the back foot, the heel is lifted, and the arms reach up. So think of right hip draws forward, outer left hip draws back. So this helps with the balance. Push into the back heel also helps with the balance. Inhale, reach. And as we exhale, we're going to straighten the front leg and just fold in the direction of the front leg. So the hands maybe come to the knee or the shin, whatever works. And we're going to go in and out. So inhale, bend the front knee and reach. And exhale, straighten the front leg and fold. There's 2. We'll do 3 more. Inhale, bend and reach. Right hip draws forward, push into the back heel. And exhale, straighten and fold. 2 more. Full breath. And exhaling, fold. Last one. Inhaling, reach. And exhaling, fold. Hands either side of the front foot. And let's step back into a plank. Take your time. Knees down or legs lifted, whichever works for you. Inhaling here. And exhaling, lower. Let's do 3 cobras. So inhaling, lift. And exhale, slowly lower, lengthening your exhale. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, lower. Last one, inhaling, lift. And exhale to all fours and then back into down dog. Take a full inhale here. A long exhale. And now drop your left knee down. Step your right foot forward between your hands. And then lift the back knee. Welcome back. Inhale. Okay, so mind the balance. Remember, right hip draws back, left hip forward, helps to balance. Press into the back knee. Inhale, reach up. And a steady eye gaze really helps. Exhale as you fold, think of that left hip coming forward, right hip drawing back. Inhale, bend the front knee, reach up. And as you exhale, fold over that front leg. 3 more. Inhaling, reach. And exhaling, straighten the front leg and fold. 2 more. And exhaling, fold. Last one. Inhaling, reach. And then exhaling, fold over that front leg. Hands either side of the front foot. And now the left foot will join the right, the top of your mat. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Interlace your fingers and lean to one side. Inhale back to center. Really lengthen, lift the arms, tailbone tucks under. Exhale, lean to the other side. Slowing down on the inside. Inhaling, lift, lengthen. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, right foot steps back towards the back of your mat. We're coming to warrior 2. So warrior 2, the heel of the front foot's in line with the arch of the back foot. And your hips are facing the front of your mat. But you got to mind that front knee, the side of your mat rather. The front knee needs to go over the second or third toe and reach the arms. So your torso faces the long end of the mat, but your legs are turning. So the back thigh turns in and the front thigh turns out. And so that's where you can really feel the power in the pose and reach in the arms. Really nice. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale here. So we're going to go in and out into triangle pose. So we'll inhale here in warrior 2. But as we exhale, we're going to straighten the front leg and the left hand comes down. Now it doesn't have to go very far. Knee or shin, right arm up. We'll go in and out. Inhale, bend the front knee. Reach in the back arm. And then exhale, straighten the leg And bring the hand down, opening up. Super, we'll do 3 more. Inhaling, bend. And exhaling, straighten and lean forwards. 2 more. Inhaling, bend. And exhaling, come down into triangle. And 1 more. Inhaling, bend. And exhale, come into triangle. And we'll just stay for 2 breaths here. So hand on your shin or down to the foot, whatever works, and reach the top arm up. You might gaze up at the top arm, but see how your neck is. It might suit you better to look down at your foot. Take a full inhale. A long exhale. Full inhale. And then as you exhale, bend that front knee, both hands down, and let's step back into a plank. So remember, straight legs or knees down. Inhale here. And then exhale, elbows in all the way to the floor. Flatten your feet. Knees are active and lifted. Inhale into cobra, elbows in. Exhaling down. Lengthen the exhale as you're coming down. 2 more. Inhaling cobra. And exhaling down. Last one. Inhaling cobra. And then exhale to all fours and press back into down dog. Take a full inhale. A long exhale. Bend your left knee and now step your right foot forward between your hands. Ground your back foot for warrior 2. So heel to arch alignment and then coming up. Reach in the arms. Bend that front knee. So remember, we reach the back arm, lengthen back more. So you can feel that left side of your waist drawing back. And then check that front knee over the second or third toe. Let's go in and out. So inhale here in warrior 2. And as you exhale, straighten the leg. And remember, each time you might get a little further, but no pressure, right? Just move and breathe. And you can take a break at any time. Inhale. You can just stay in warrior 2 if it feels like too much moving in and out. Exhaling. Inhale, warrior 2. And exhaling into triangle. And 2 more. Inhaling, no rush. And exhaling. Inhaling, last one. And exhale. And let's stay here. So the hand wherever works. And one side's always so different than the other. So hand on the shin, the ankle, the floor, and the left arm reaching up. And you can either look up or look down. Deep inhale. And full exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Both hands down. And step back into your plank. Knees down or knees lifted. Inhaling. Exhale, lower all the way. Firm the legs, elbows in. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale back into down dog. Full inhale here. A long exhale here. And take 1 more full inhale. A long exhale. Very nice, and drop your knees. So we're coming into a series of different seated and inverted poses. I'd encourage you, if you have any pillows or cushions, to get them and have them near you so that they're handy for when you need them in some of the next few poses. So I'm going to grab a blanket and have it ready, and the cushion. Great. So we're coming into a forward fold. So legs are straight out. Very nice. So legs are straight out, and it can be nice to pull the outside part of your thighs out so you're really sitting onto your sitting bones. And inhale here, and then exhale, folding forwards. So it doesn't matter how far forwards you go, right? Your hands might be on your shins, your ankles, or holding onto your feet, whatever works. Try to draw the shoulders down. And with this forward fold, you want to think of your chest coming forward rather than rounding down. So you kind of keep the chest lifted a little bit as you fold. I'm going to stay here for a little while, breathing. And so really follow your breath. Feel the pose. And because we're in a long hold, right, you don't need to go into the deepest expression of the pose for you. Just stay and breathe. No strain. So this particular pose, I was Googling it this afternoon to see some of the benefits. It calms the brain and helps to relieve stress and mild depression. It stretches the spine, the shoulders, the hamstrings. It stimulates the liver, kidneys, the ovaries, and the uterus. It improves digestion, and it helps relieve the symptoms of menopause and menstrual discomfort. It also soothes headache and anxiety and reduces fatigue. Pretty amazing. And so we're just going to stay here for a little bit longer, breathing. See, can you soften as you fold? And then very carefully coming back up. Really nice. So we're coming into a seated pose now on our knees. And so going to rock pose. It's also called Vajrasana. And so you're sitting on your heels. And if this is uncomfortable to sit on your heels, you can always pop a cushion on top of your legs or in between your legs to sit on that. Just be here for a few minutes. And we're going to breathe long and deep. Close your eyes and drop in. And see, can you be with all the parts of the breath? So all of the inhale, that brief pause, and all of the exhale. And your mind so vigilant, don't let a single part of the breath escape your attention. Relax your shoulders, soften your jaw. And let your breath be really deep and long. So as you breathe, the diaphragm descends, the belly expands. And as you exhale, the diaphragm rises, belly drops, draws in. Staying present. Cultivating that witness, observing mind, following your breath. This is your time to be fully present with yourself. The thoughts of the rest of the day, let this be your time to be present. Notice how you feel. Just a few minutes of breathing consciously. So I'm going to do some really nice poses now for digestion and for lovely feeling in your belly. But everyone is different, so you have to find the variation that works for you. So it's called Supta Virasana. We're going to have our heels on the outside. Move the cushion on the outside of the knees. Now, if this is, especially if you have tender knees, then you bring the legs forward, right? You bring the legs forward, hands behind, and you lean back. Okay, so there you're getting this lovely length here in the abdominal area and space between the upper thigh and the lower intestine, right? So that's with your legs forward, and you can pop the blankets underneath you or your cushions. So you have this lovely lift in the chest and this lovely lengthening in the torso. So that's one variation. The variation, the heels on the outside of the hips, and then the cushions behind you, as many as you need. And I know when I teach this in a regular class, there's such a variety. Some people just go straight back, no big deal. And then other people, we have 5 or 6 cushions because even here is so intense for them. And so everyone is different. And so see what works for you. If you're comfortable, you can reach the arms back. If you don't need all that many cushions, you can lean back without all the cushions. Now put the timer on. We're going to be in this pose for 2 minutes. And long, deep breaths. So find the version that works for you. So there's a couple of lovely things happening here. So lovely space created in the lower abdominal area, but also an opening in the chest. And so long, deep breaths. And it is an intense pose, whichever version, wherever you are in it. And so stay present and breathe. If you're back, you're leaning back with your arms overhead, think of your tailbone drawing towards your knees. So you have that tuck of the tailbone towards the knees. And this opens up the front body and lengthens in the spine. Really nice. Full deep breaths. We're nearly there. Just 40 seconds. And so those full deep belly breaths. Diaphragm descends and belly expands as you breathe. This is a fantastic pose for digestion and just for creating a little bit of space in the lower abdominal area. Especially if we sit a lot again, it's an area that can become a bit congested. And so we're going to slowly come out. Take your time, maybe quite stiff. And so from whichever version, slowly coming out. Really nice. We're going to come lying on our back. So I'm going to do one of my favorite poses to do, a supported bridge or supported shoulder stand. It's called both. And usually in the class we'd use blocks, but most people don't have blocks at home. So we'll just use whatever you have, right? So if you have a blanket, hold it well, properly and put it underneath your hips. Okay, so we want that we're quite lifted underneath our hips, and then the legs are going to go straight up. You can also put a cushion or pillows, whatever is going to work. I'm going to be in this pose for a little while. Let me get the timer going. So this is a fantastic restorative pose. It's a fantastic pose for creating balance because our legs are opposite to what they normally are. And so by going the opposite, we create balance. Blood flow coming down from the feet. Lovely pooling of energy here in the abdominal area again. And long, deep breaths. Close your eyes. And be super vigilant. So don't let a breath be unobserved. And don't worry if your mind wanders. It's like training a wild horse. You have to be always patient. And some days our mind is more wandery than other days. And that's just an indication of something going on for us. It could be tiredness, could be hormones, it could be just a busy time, it could be some strong emotions. And so we have to learn to observe whatever is, whether it's a wandery mind or a focused mind or a tired. We observe it, we be patient, and we come back to our breath. It's so important to have this ability to have a relationship with our mind. So we are a little bit separate. So we can be the observer. Full shoulder stand is called the Queen of Asanas because it is such an amazing pose, especially for women. It's a great pose because it's quite sattvic, like your breath of fire. It has an energizing effect because you draw the blood flow, the energy towards the crown of the head. But it's also an inversion, so it has a very calming effect also. Long, deep breaths. Feel the belly expand with each inhale. Nearly there. I know the legs are probably getting a little bit tired. If you need to bring them down, please do so. Always making the poses work for you. We don't force ourselves ever. We find our edge and we know what side of our edge we feel like going to on any given day. But the pose, we apply it to our body in our circumstances with our injuries and tiredness and whatnot. And let's carefully bend the knees and bring the feet down. Really great. Really nice. And carefully rolling up. So we're going to do a really beautiful breathing practice for just 5 minutes. And then we'll get into Shavasana. Oh, at the time, we might just do 3 minutes. So come into any comfortable seated position. So you can be, for breathing practices, you can always sit in a chair, no problem if that feels more comfortable. And the one we're going to do tonight is Satali breath. So Satali breath, a very cooling and calming breath, and also brings you into a very still, quiet place very quickly. So we inhale through the rolled tongue or through your teeth. So I'll come closer to the camera. So we roll our tongue and we inhale through the rolled tongue. And then we exhale through our nose. And some people have a difficulty rolling their tongue. And if that's you, there's no problem. You just go through your teeth. And exhale nose. Great. So inhale through the rolled tongue or your teeth. And exhale through the nose. Eyes closed. And long deep breaths. So inhaling through your curled tongue or your teeth. And exhale through your nose. Keep going, inhaling through your curled tongue or your teeth. Exhaling nose. And take a last inhale here, deep inhale. Pause, hold the breath. And exhale. And just sit for a moment. Notice how you feel. And here, either come lying down now with blankets, eye pillow, or any kind of the sleeve of your jumper, or a scarf over your eyes. And make yourself very comfortable. Or if you would prefer to stay seated, then stay seated. And completely relax. If you're lying down, let your eyes sink back towards the back of your head. Feel your jaw relax, your whole face. Let go of any holding in your face, any tension around your eyes, jaw. Feel your lips relax, your tongue fall towards the back of your throat, your shoulders, your arms, down through your chest. Feel yourself let go of any holding.
Govinde mukande udare apare Hariyam kariyam nimame akame Govinde mukande udare apare Hariyam kariyam nimame akame Govinde mukande udare apare Hariam Kariyam Nilame Kame Gobinde Mukande udare apare Hariam Kariyam Nilame Kame Gobinde Mukande udare apare Kariyam Kariyam Nilame Kame Govinde 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 Mukande udare apare Kariyam Kariyam Nilame Kame So if you have the time, stay resting here. I'll leave the music on.
Govinde Mukande Mugare Upare Hariyam Kariyam Niname Akame Govinde Mukande Udare Upare Hariyam Kariyam Niname Akame Govinde Mukande Udare Upare Hariyam Kariyam Niname Akame Govinde